Hey everyone, it's Merja here. Welcome to today's live video on Facebook in our ISI group. It's great to be here with you. As some of you know, I've had quite a trying time over the last couple of weeks. There's been several weeks in fact. There's been some PTSD work coming up. There's also been my grandmother's partner, who's the only grandfather I know, passed away a couple of days ago, which has been really difficult. And of course, some of you also know about one of my horses who had a colic there on Thursday last week. So it's been a very trying couple of weeks, and several weeks for me personally. So I apologize that I haven't been with you so much, but here we are, back onto it. Today what I'd like to do is talk to you about holding space for yourself. And the reason why I'd like to talk about that is because it is one of the major parts of any success journey. If you're unable to hold space for yourself, you are unlikely to really be the most importantly supportive person towards yourself. So you are lacking out on a lot of that kind of self-support that you have hopefully access to a lot of the time. So you don't rely on getting support from other people as much as you normally would. Now, people kind of say to me often, I hear about this, holding space for yourself or holding space for other people, whatever. What does it even mean? And basically what it means is that you are willing to stay with yourself. If you're holding space for yourself, you're willing to stay with yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. So you don't go and you do something else or distract yourself with something else. That you're willing to stay in the discomfort, even though you might want to go somewhere else or do something else. And the same thing when you hold space for other people. People might be going through challenges, and when you're holding space for those people, you're there for them without necessarily trying to fix anything actively. So you stay with the person, or if you're holding space for yourself, you stay with yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. And there might be times when you hold space for other people that you can't even do anything for them, that the situation is in many ways impossible for you to do anything about. So that's what holding space means. Holding space is not you telling the person how they should feel. It's not telling the person, what they should do. Holding space is not anything to do with any type of proactive activity to try and change the situation. Okay, so holding space is a very passive but present way of being with each other. And the most recent situation, I guess, for me where I've held myself some space has been, over the last while. Certainly with the parenting journey, the PTSD work that's been coming up. I've been getting flashes from my childhood and nightmares, several weeks in fact, of nightmares that I haven't slept well. And for me, holding space has meant that I have committed to resting when I need to rest. So when I feel like it's too much, then, I'm getting tired, I feel the urge to lie down instead of reaching for that cup of coffee, which is not holding space for yourself. I just go and relax and just chill out and, lie down and just enjoy a little bit of a rest. What's been interesting for me personally, looking at holding space is with the 4 different people within. So the 4 people within, your adult self, your inner parent, and your 2 inner children. What's been really interesting in relation to holding space is that I've learned to hold space for each one of those parts of me. So I've learned to hold space definitely for the inner children who are having a really hard time with all the PTSD work because they're extremely triggered. Their needs are very urgent and very disruptive actually, because we're talking about quite horrendous recurring nightmares, for example. So, you know, it's not that the abuse happened once, it happened every night for several weeks because, you know, it happened in the dreams. So certainly holding space for those inner children has been very interesting, because they're both very different. One is very extroverted, needs the validation, and she's an information gathering little child, my 3-year-old inner child. And the other one is, you know, very specific, like introverted thinking, this is right and this is not right and here's how it should be. And, you know, so trying to hold space for two very different triggered inner children has been, well, it's been challenging for sure. And a couple of days ago I even posted something on my personal page about having some compassion fatigue for myself or different parts of myself, because it's been weeks, right? So it's been very challenging. But you know, learning to then hold space for the fact that I was getting compassion fatigue, which was, you know, feeling like my inner parent couldn't do much more. I learned to hold space for her in her or quest, if you like, to try and support the inner children and hold space for the inner children. And the very final kind of how I finally feel like I've moved through a lot of the PTSD work and a lot of this, you know, these layers of disruption, because that's effectively what a lot of this grieving work is. Holding space for the adult self, which is, who am I actually? You know, it's this reinforcement of who I am as a person, as a grown-up person, and really going into that as deeply as I possibly can. So those have been the ways that I've been kind of holding space for myself over the last while. And granted, it's been a very difficult time, but we'll get there. I probably look quite tired, so bear with me. Now, how you can hold space for yourself, there's a couple of different ways. So you can kind of prepare your ability to hold space for yourself by learning about inner parenting, learning about the 4 different people that are within you and what the needs of those 4 people are. Okay, so this is preparation for holding space, because once you understand who those 4 people are, now you can choose to be present with the feelings without having to fix anything. Does that make sense? So what I'm really encouraging you to do is make sure that you learn who your 4 people within are, what their likely patterning is. So how are they likely to show up when you're stressed? How are they likely to show up when you're happy? You know, how do these people present themselves? And then when they present themselves, you can say, you know, negative, positive, or negative. You can then hold space for them by saying, hey, you know, let's enjoy this positive moment right now. Or, hey, you know what? It's really hard right now. And I'm here for you, I'm here for myself, and I'm just going to ride this out. I'm going to try and find some comfort within this particular discomfort that I'm feeling right now. So that's how you can learn to hold space for yourself. Learn to feel okay, even when things feel very uncomfortable. So that's it for today. Let me know if you have questions. Make sure to put a little bit of a comment at the bottom there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to interacting with you soon. Have a really great day. Take care.